in 1992, we were paying people in $3.75 an hour, which was minimum wage then, and we had to turn people away. Now we're up to, I think we started at $8.65 an hour, and have to beat the bushes to find people. So our typical employee is a college student who is a criminology major with an interest in going on to a full-time career in law enforcement. That being said, we do have some neighborhood residents who work for us. We have a guy named Warren McCarty out on the west side. He lives on North Yale Avenue in Franklinton. He's lived there his whole life. He's 64 years old, I think, and he works one night a week because he wants to make it better. And we have one guy who lives on the hilltop and works full-time for Mount Carmel Security, but works one night a week for us, just because he wants to work in his neighborhood and make it safer. Average length of employment is about 2 years. In other words, it takes them 2 years to find us, and they get into their criminology major, and then their advisor will tell them about CCP, and then they come and work for us, and then they leave after they graduate, basically. I mean, that's the typical method. We do provide our own set of training, curriculum. We have a handbook, obviously we go through that and everything. That training is supplemented by the Columbus Division of Police and OSU in areas such as self-defense, and first aid, CPR, all kinds of different, we train in a lot of different ways. Also, they have to be trained to ride a bike. It doesn't matter if they're the best bike rider in the world, they've got to know how to ride in an urban setting. They have to go through our bike certification class in order to be able to be out there on the streets riding a bike. I've never gone through it because part of it is riding down stairs, and I refuse to do that because I know I will fall on my face. So each patroller is outfitted with a two-way radio. It maintains radio contact with the Columbus police officer and the CCP radio operator and dispatcher. I think one of the key successes of this program, or the reason why this program works and why it stayed in business for 20 years and why it works and why there's nothing really else like it, is the relationship that we have with the Columbus Division of Police, in that they have consistently over the last 20 years always been a partner with us in terms of providing that officer support and coverage. We also now have support from the OSU Police Department in the Joint Patrol Project that Paul will talk about later, and they also help us out with radio coverage as well. So that if the patrollers get involved in something, they radio it in. There's a police officer on the other end of that radio. It's not calling in to the dispatch and then having somebody come out, whenever they get to it. It's automatic. It's right now. So that's important, and that's the partnership between the patrollers and the police is critical. In fact, the South End has gone so far as to get our channel programmed on every walkie down there in 11 precinct. And so when they need them, they're right there on the radio. They don't even have to carry one of our radios to contact those officers. It's a non-intervention program so that we do not get involved in any situations. We only follow the suspects until an officer arrives to make an arrest. We don't detain anybody. We don't get involved in anything unless somebody's life is being threatened, obviously. But we have as much arrest authority as you guys. I mean, we don't have any more arrest authority than a normal citizen. We don't carry weapons of any kind. We just carry that radio, a flashlight, and they're required to wear bullet-resistant vests, and that's all the equipment we give them, besides their uniform. But like I said, they are trained in first aid, CPR, and self-defense techniques, and have performed CPR and other first aid techniques on the job. I mean, that has come in handy for them. We also do spontaneous escorts. So that if somebody comes up to assess us and says, I don't feel safe, I need you to walk me home, of course we're going to do that. We don't, however, take calls from the public saying, I'm here and I need to go there, because then that's all we would do, and we don't feel like that's the business we want to be in. We also participate in what's called a burglary special patrol project in the university district. Because of the spike in the number of break-ins over break, winter break and spring break, we have since, I think it was 1998 we started that project, have participated in sort of the joint effort with Columbus Division of Police and OSU Police to sort of do something different during that time. Put out patrollers in plain clothes, put them out during the day, just try different things to try and combat those issues. And that has worked. Those random assaults I talked about earlier that caused the formation of CCP have decreased in the university district since 1990. The number of reported break-ins has decreased each year during the burglary special projects. We've been successful in finding lost children and missing adults, and have assisted in many domestic violence arrests. We've recovered numerous stolen vehicles, probably several every month, and identified countless drunk drivers over the years. We have assisted the police department with arrests of wanted felons. And one of the things that I don't think anybody anticipated when this program began is the de facto training program that we've provided to the Columbus Division of Police. We now have 37 former patrollers who are Columbus police officers right now. 2 of whom graduated in the Obama class, as I like to call it. So, and I got to go and see them graduate. It was fabulous. And if you go nationwide, that number rises to 68. We have Washington D.C., Boston, the FBI, all over the place. And those are only the ones I know about. I'm sure there are more that haven't bothered to call me and say, hey, I got a job at. I have one leaving next week for Virginia Beach to be a police officer there. So it's a great training program. And we're saving questions till the end. Okay, so that's all I have. Thanks for your attention.
Okay.
We'll walk around a little bit, exercise, head towards lunch. I am Chris Riley, the Community Liaison Officer within the division. There are 19 of us. My area is north of OSU, the Clintonville neighborhoods, the north side of Columbus. We're going to talk a little bit about the Liaison program that's been around since the mid-90s, and that's just one element of our response to crime in the metro area, or at least in the Columbus proper. We have within CPD a philosophy. We have a very defined mission statement, but we roll several different other philosophies and programs into one with our mission-aligned policing philosophy. Part community-oriented policing, part intelligence-based, part problem-oriented. It's taking the best of everything and customizing it to see how it works best for the people of the city of Columbus. It's a principle-centered approach to policing. Within the mission for all police officers in the Division of Police, they will find this in their books. It will be in every police station, in the elevators of some buildings. But it's what we do. It's the guiding principles of a CPD officer, whether a community liaison officer or an officer on patrol or a detective. But we are dedicated to